Good morning, everyone. It is Monday. We're back at it. Bad Saturday. We were still down sick. It's been kind of rough. But yesterday we were able to get back to it a little bit. Got some bulk dropped off. Had a lot of people reaching out to try and sell Lego yesterday, which is pretty cool. It's nice to be having stuff potentially coming in. But big news for us. We have a couple of big things. We've got this weekend is our first garage sale that we've done in 3 months, which is massive. We've taken a break from it, but now it's been so long. I'm pretty excited for it. I want to get everything set up, get everything good to go. So we've got that. That's going to be a focus of the week. The other thing is I have somebody coming tomorrow to buy a bunch of bulk, and so I need to finish going through bulk today. So that's going to be my goal today. Just finish picking through, make sure everything's tight before we let it go. Pick out any trash or any non-Lego, and then give it the thumbs up. And then the other big one, the biggest news, and then it's probably not the most exciting news on the other side, but we finished our taxes. It ended up being so much better than we thought. So much better than we thought. For the very first time doing this, I feel relief. We were able to put some money in savings, and we've been able to live. And so that's the biggest news of all of this. Like, we turned a corner this year, which is incredible. Like, I don't know. I never thought it. I wouldn't say I never thought I would get to this point, but I just not sure ever truly expected it. Like, we work hard, we put in the time and everything, but I think it's just different when it actually comes through. So it's been pretty emotional and pretty happy these last couple of days. Coming off the sickness that we just had, we needed it. And so it's just been pretty joyful here, happy. My little kid's birthday's coming up. The procedure that he needs to have can be paid for. Just all this really, really positive stuff. And so, feeling very, very, very thankful this Monday morning. Thankful to do something that I really love and think is fun. This morning I literally woke up and I was deep sleep, started thinking about Legos, and then popped right up, and I was like, oh, I should get up and get working and stuff. And so, can't say I ever had that in my previous job. Part of it too is no commute. Like, I just get to get up, do my morning thing, and I'm in here, right? Remember, that was part of the hardest thing about getting up and commuting was like, get up, you're deep in it. You got 45 minutes to an hour before you can even start to think about working and stuff. And so, added some extra days or hours to my day, not having to commute, and get to do something I really love, and my family's here. And so that makes it incredible. I haven't done any posts lately about what we've sold, so I'm going to walk through one of those real quick. And then talk about some of the stuff that I just bought. So, last I checked, this was about $800 worth of stuff. We sold a ton of figs this weekend. We need to get more figs coming in because they are going fast. Tons of Ninja Turtle foot soldiers, bought me out. A lot of Marvel, not a lot of Star Wars in this lot. Oops. Go back. Not a lot of Star Wars in this lot. There are some good Star Wars figs, but just not a ton compared to what we're normally selling. And then a few parts, like nothing crazy. This is a really good Lando torso that I needed to buy, and so I bought 2 of them, and it sold within a week. These little things are pretty expensive. They're pretty awesome. They've been selling. Those are my last 2. They're Ninjago weapons, and then there's something else, I think. Just little neat things. So that's all got to get packed up. I think I'm going to try and pack that up and shoot it over. Pack up half of it because I know the USPS gets picked up at the postmark, the place that I drop my packages off, pretty quickly. So I want to make sure I get there in time. The other news that we had, this whole tower of accessories. Let's see. This whole tower of accessories is stuff that needs to be added. Someone dropped it off. They had parts and pieces, and it's not all accessories. A lot of it's just minifig stuff. You can see good helmets and stuff in there. This is what we're currently working on, this tower. Oh, we also sold these. Two more Bionicles. They're ripping out of here, and then cool little clone walker. And then, so this is all torsos from the lot that was just dropped off. Obviously, a ton of them. This is all pants, and it's mostly only printed pants. So we got quite a bit of stuff. This is the current pile of minifig stuff that needs to be added. Someone dropped off bulk, surprisingly, yesterday. Like they called me and we're like, hey, I've got bulk. I'm around the corner. And I was like, okay, I'll take a look. It's really weird. I found a Home Alone house in here. I found a Taj Mahal that was never completed, but like scraps and parts and pieces to a lot of things, but just not a lot of figs. So this is one of the ones I'll go through today. I found one of the figs for Home Alone. I also found a fig for Daily Bugle, which is crazy because there's no other indication that they had Daily Bugle inside of any of this other stuff. So that's pretty much it. We're gonna make it pretty quick today. I'll do a walkthrough video, and I might shoot my shop tour video either Thursday or Friday because we'll have the garage looking pretty sweet. It generally looks really good after we've done all that stuff, and so we're gonna go on. But yeah, big updates. Check in soon. All right, good morning, y'all. It's 8:30 on Wednesday. We got a lot of news. A lot has happened. I had 3 people by yesterday. One was to do a small drop off of a couple of figs, just a small buy, and then also they had a UCS A-wing that ended up picking up. The second one was to buy 700 pounds of bulk. I didn't weigh it. I had it estimated beforehand, and we were weighing it as I was selling it. So when he came, before he came, I was like, hey, we've got about 700 pounds. He was like, cool, I want 700. The final total after 2.5 hours of measuring and moving into his containers, you can see our container stack right now, just got them all back. After 2.5 hours of doing that, 702 pounds. So pretty good estimate, just eyeballing it. And we had been selling bulk quite a bit before that as well. So I'll be honest, we haven't had this much space. All of under the table is gone. There used to be like a little column of bulk in the corner. I had some in my shed. I had some under my shelves. It takes up so much space really quick. And it sat for over a year, I think. Like I generally end up getting more than I can sell. And so like, it just is this never ending cycle of, it's always coming in and going out really slow. So yeah, screaming deal he got. Super happy. I was going to go through it one more time before I got rid of it, decided not to. It just really wasn't worth the time. I know I've said that before with bulk and have been proven wrong, but the third person that came by was somebody that was dropping off a collection. So on Monday, I did go up and travel and buy another collection. It was great. It was fantastic. The photos that I had been sent didn't really display the breadth of everything that was there and included. So we got a great deal on it. Great guide. And I was in such a rush because I needed to get home to pick up my son from daycare that we ran out of time, and I was like, hey, if there's any traffic, I'm gonna miss it, so we gotta head out. He's like, cool, I work near you, I'll bring the rest of the stuff down to you. And then he's like, I've also got some stuff in my storage unit and I'll bring that down. He undersold the stuff in the storage unit as well. He had unbuilt sets. He had Quickie Mart, the Lord of the Rings pirate ship, and Hobbiton, or Hobbiton or Bag End, from Hobbit, not the new one I think it's from Lord of the Rings. But he has the Hobbit one. And then he also had the Cave Troll Hobbit set. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But yeah, he had all that. And then on top of that, he had 125 CMFs. He had all the manuals for all of the sets that he sold me. And then he also had a bunch of these displays. They need to be cleaned up a little bit. But yeah, and I'm not really sure what these are worth. They're kind of like not on Bricklink. They're an old style one where it has a button and the front flap comes open. So they've been in storage for a long time. The acrylic on it is it's pretty good. Acrylic gets naturally hazy over time, and so but like some of them are really really good. I only have the feet for like 8, like enough of them to sell off 8 like fully complete, and so I think I'm just gonna take the ones that are just kind of bad and just list them for a big discount. But yeah, man, absolutely game changing day yesterday. We so with that, we had planned on this weekend doing a garage sale. I've got over 80 sets. Like they're like medium sized sets, like your X-wing size sets, um, non UCS that need to be processed. So I need to clean those up and I need to list them and I need to get them online. So I've got 125 CMFs. I've got the 4 sets that I talked about that need to be inventoried, and then all the other sets that he had were built. Very well taken care of. Extra pieces even with the sets. So like just A plus like management of all the stuff. Figs are in immaculate condition. They sat on a shelf as an adult collector, so super happy about that. That's pretty rare. We always every time we go and look at anything Lego related, we hear everything's there. It's all complete. 1%. 1% of the time that's true. This was one of those 1%. Yeah, fantastic. So really lucky to get that. I felt like I needed to get another big collection. It had been over, man, I can't remember even the last one that we bought. It's whatever the last one was that we bought, the biggest one. It's fully processed, and we haven't had anything in the queue for a while. So that's why we've been really focusing on parts. We still have a lot of parts to do, but I think I'm going to bring someone in part time in order to just list parts with me, 2 days a week, and then recruit the wife to start doing it a bit more, just so that we can get some more Bricklink sales. Bricklink's been really good. Yesterday was bad. It's not uncommon to have these pockety days. Yesterday, I think we sold maybe $80, which definitely drags down the total quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, it happens. That'll happen, and then you'll have like $300 in a day. With these medium-sized sets, I'm really expecting to have a good couple of months after we list these, because they sell really well because the price point isn't too high for most of them, and then they're all Star Wars, so like that's another feather in the cap of getting this all super quick. So really happy about that. Yeah, I woke up today and I was like buzzing, ready to go. I wanted to get CMFs priced, so I think today is going to be pricing the CMFs, and then when I'm done with that, I want to go through and evaluate the Quickie Mart and the unbuilt sets. See if I can start to inventory those and see if they need to be washed. I think they're going to need to be washed. Quickie Mart has like 1,000 stickers on it, and so like I'm a little anxious about that one coming through, but we'll see. Generally, what I do when I'm inventorying a set and it has stickered parts, I print out a picture of the sticker sheet and then cross them off as I find them. It's pretty easy. You just set it to the side and cross it out. It's awesome. It allows us to be thorough. It doesn't tell you the story of where the sticker goes or what piece it's going to be on. But after you've been doing this a while, you can kind of have a good idea. I think this is our third Quickie Mart. So yeah, pretty awesome. I don't normally keep anything from like personally, but one set that the guy had that I didn't see until I got there was he had the Queen Amidala's like Gungan set. Gungan sub. It was the one it's a red Amidala. We got one extremely early, like when we were still mainly doing eBay, and it was in bulk, and I had found like the base for it, and then I found the headpiece and I was so excited, and then I found the torso, and I was in the garage just picking through bulk, and I found the head and I like sprinted excited inside, like excitedly, to tell my wife, and it's just a special moment for us. And so I'm gonna keep the fig from that set. It's like in perfect condition. We had sold off the one that we had completed earlier. We were really fighting for money. I think we got 160 for it, which is a pretty good price back then. I think it's far beyond that now. And then the one that we just got was like mint, like the guy took it out of the box, put it on the shelf, and you could, when I took it off the shelf, I saw the dust circle from where it had been. So yeah. So it's nice. Like I like to accumulate those types of things. I don't like to accumulate everything. I've got Darth Revan, which is a special one to me, and then the nine X-Men, like the was it X-Men 97? Most of that stuff from the X Mansion and some of like the like a really really clean Deadpool that I had even before I started doing Lego. So yeah, just have like this little tiny collection of stuff. I could see it getting way too big. I've said for a long time that my goal is to sell Lego, not to collect it. But I also currently own 3 Cloud Cities, and so I don't think I'm doing a very good job of that. Maybe when I start selling some Cloud Cities, I can bring that mantra back. But yeah, all in all, right now, extremely happy with how things are going. Yeah, just this last week, if you had talked to me the week before, we were kind of hanging on by a thread because everyone was sick. We had some financial woes and we're just panicking, and everything turned within a week. Everybody turned the corner health wise. Financially, we got some amazing news, and Lego wise, just an insane collection came through. So it's just another reminder to keep your head up and keep pushing forward because you don't know what's around the corner. But yeah, super excited. And then let me see. This week, tomorrow's going to be slow because we're not doing very much Lego related stuff. I don't think. I say that now. We'll see. But the other thing, on Friday, I'm going to have somebody come in and we're going to do just adding parts, and go from there. Yeah, I'll do some time lapse on cleaning up some of these sets and how we do it. I'm not sure it's the most interesting thing, but it's an important part of it. It's something that gets unaccounted for, especially when we're pricing and people are like, you only pay so much for this stuff. And it's like, yeah, because you brought it in, it is absolutely caked in dust. We have to clean it, make sure it's still good, package it up, ship it out, store it, list it, like all those things. It's a lot. So like a collection like this will processing wise take at least probably at least 3 weeks of just purely processing it and adding stuff, if not longer, depending on how much of it I decide to inventory. I know I'm going to inventory Quickie Mart. I really want to build that pirate boat from Lord of the Rings, but I don't think I'm going to, just because you can get more for it if you inventory it. I don't know. I gotta decide. I don't build very much for myself, but that would be one that's cool. And then yeah, just the Hobbit, and I would just inventory and all that. So I think there is a mystery box, a bin of parts that came with the stuff. It's not a lot. It's like a tote that's the size of one of these. Let me see. It's like one of these, which isn't a lot. Like we've gotten a collection that was like 7 of these and had to go through and find parts for stuff. So I don't like searching for parts. It's a big time suck. A lot of time I'll just order it and then pay that money because you can write it off and then or add it in as cogs, and then it's not as big of a deal. But like searching for 3 hours to find parts is just not something I want to do at this point anymore. I'd rather spend 3 hours adding parts, make money off those parts, and then buy the parts I need. So yeah, man, all in all, fantastic. On top of that, the other big news is I think we've decided that we're not going to do garage sales anymore. It's been such a big part of what we originally started out to do, how we became known in this space, and then how we were able to stay afloat financially as a family for the last year. Like we've relied on it so heavily. And so last year we did one about once a month, and this year we decided we're going to do it once a quarter, because we don't want to be out of spec with the city and stuff. And so but what happened is once we stopped doing them, sales increased because the time that we're dedicating to setting up for these garage sales was reduced, and we were able to spend more time on the other things that were getting done. the overall stress level for me decreased when I didn't have to do them. And then I found myself they kind of hang over me the week before, knowing that, hey, I can't get into this project or work on this larger thing because we have a sale, and kind of puts a big old stop. On top of that, it costs us about $450 to $500 just to run the sale with all the marketing that we do, and and for the help that we hire and all that. And so we very quickly started to become not nearly as profitable. So it's scary for the first time, turning away from money after it's felt like a fist fight to get it as much as we can, um, and try and keep all the lights on. But I think it's the right move now. We have enough stuff that we can add that we can just better utilize our time. And online sales have been working and doing really well. And so we want to focus on the things that are working, not trying to shoehorn and continuing things that aren't. Now, it doesn't eliminate the possibility of doing a sale in the future, but what it does do is it reduces the effectiveness potentially, if we're not set up for hybrid retail. It'll just be harder for people to shop. But one of the things I noticed over time was used sets just weren't selling as well. Minifigs are like number one. We sold a ton of minifigs. We don't have trouble selling minifigs online. And so, like, again, it's like, is it really bringing any additional value? What we did sell well there was like junk and incomplete sets. So, like when I got a set that just, I was just going to keep the figs and sell off the part, like stuff that I save stuff that I think would be fun for kids and then discount it massively. And we have a table out in front of our garage when people walk up that they can buy from. Um, and so like selling that stuff off, but like on a good sale, it'd be $200 worth of stuff at the end of it. And so it's not like we're gonna be missing a ton. And then also selling off bulk in chunks. We would do 5 pound bags of bulk, 4 pound bags of bulk for $20, so $5 a pound. Sell some, but we just sold everything that we have yesterday, and so it's another thing that we don't have. So it's just wild. It means that there are changes coming to the layout in here, but I need to really spend time thinking about what it is that works in this space, where we want to go, and then how to get it there. Because what I don't want to continue to do is remodel and rechange the stuff around, because it costs money and it's costs a lot of time. There are aspects of this space that work perfect. This nook, my nook where I work most of the time, is my favorite. I can spin around, I can put stuff away, pick stuff from there easily. It uses a shelf. It hides this bump in the ground. It also, behind this shelf, is our box storage, big box storage. And then on top, there's an extension built on. You can kind of see it right there. So that we can house extra large sets. And so we've got like the gun chip I put up there yesterday. But so like this entire unit is just perfect. This wall works perfect for me. The only thing I want to change on it is we're going to add another layer. And then after we add another layer, we're going to go up here. We're going to put a shelf to house all the sets that we have to move out. So we might need to get a ladder. So everything looks and works really well. The only things that are on the chopping block, I actually have windows behind these that are blocked now. These three, if you see here, this thing up at the top, that is actually a projector screen that drops down. So when my son's in here, when I'm in here, I want to watch hockey or football, I can drop that down and watch stuff. It's awesome. Like, I love doing it. And so the things that are really on the chopping block are this section right here, and then the table. If I buy more of these display stands, which I think I'm going to do, I can fit them in the top rows up here. And then these right here, like all the bin storage, I can put down below. And then it would give me like my whole table back. Now, is that the best use of space? I'm not really certain. I think that's the part that I'm really struggling with. These things need to be next to each other, or they needed to be next to each other for hybrid retail and selling in person. But I really need to take some time to think about how I want to do it. Is it better to put them all on their display stands because they pick easier that way? Or is it better to put them all in bins? I don't like picking from the bins as much because see if I can get a good example of what happens, especially when one's crowded. Like you can't at a glance pick out the fig very easy. These are lucky in that they're all turned up, but when they're all turned down, it's just, you're digging a lot. And then when it's something like Spider-Man, like I bagged like with like, but and so that's helped a bit. But I guess Iron Man's probably the best one. Like I have to come in here and I have to read each of these numbers on here in order to make sure that it's the right one. So like that process isn't my favorite. So there's definitely something that can be done there. But I kind of want to move all the way into one or the other. The other big part of it is with these display stands, if I got rid of them and just bagged everything, then I can't do a convention. And so like that's really what I want to move into is like I want to do like twice a year a convention and bring figs to it and stuff. And so a lot of stuff to decide. And then there's also this thing that was just here because we had it in the garage, and like it houses some color sorted bulk, and then it's other big set storage. Don't really need it. And then so it just comes down to, okay, like what do we need more of? Well, my plan, I think, for all the sets that are on the walls is to prep them for shipping, right? Like a lot of the stuff I'm just going to concede is going to get sent out and shipped, right? So that would be bagging them and then boxing them, but not sealing the box, and then putting a label on the outside of the box being like, okay, it's, like the info on the set. Here's Optimus Prime. It's in this box, whatever, in this correct size box and all that. So then I would just have a stack of boxes. It utilizes all the space better. It doesn't look nearly as cool because just like a bunch of box up Lego stuff. But functionally a lot better. It means that I don't have to spend an extra, 10 to 15 minutes boxing up a used set. Because it just does take a lot of time. What I would do is just spend a week or two and just box up everything I have. Verify it's complete one more time before I box it, and then go from there. So there's just like a lot of options. A lot is in the air right now. So yeah, we just got to see kind of what's next. But I'm excited for it. It's just crazy how quick this stuff changes. Like just last year, I don't even think it's been a year that we used these display tables. The ones that I made, these are good. They've got good spacing to them, but what these have is the vertical height, and they're a lot more visually noisy, I think, because there's just a lot more going on with it. But like you can see the price, you can see the name, and it utilizes the height better. The only downside to these is they're floppy, right? So I bought acrylic glue, and I'm gonna acrylic glue it together. So it's way more rigid. That should get us everywhere we need. And then if I can figure out how to buy like a cover for it or something so that I can transport it, I might end up going that route as well. But we will see. I just don't want a bunch of covers that I'm not going to use at other times, because like I can't put a cover on it and then put it in in the bookcase and then lift the cover off because of the way the cover I think works on these stocks. So anyway, yeah, I mean, it wasn't even a year that we did that. It's just crazy. Like so much stuff changes so quick. Even our plan last year was, all right, let's go full in on garage sales and make sure that everything's as good as it can be. And then we'll when we have time, we'll do online stuff. And now we flipped 100%. So yeah, man, it's fun. I intended this to be a short video and it wasn't. Yeah, we'll check in. I'll check in tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to get much Lego done, but at least show some of the sets off maybe that we got, and go from there. Yeah, cool. All right, it's 1:30 on Wednesday. Tragedy struck. Looking through sets and stuff and looking to clean things up. There was quite a bit of dust on the Lord of the Rings sets, Quickie Martin stuff, so decided to wash them. No big deal, right? As I'm going through, nothing has a bite mark on it. It's all great. Everything from the collection that I bought, all collector grade, fantastic. Just dust. Dust is easy to deal with, but what's not easy to deal with was this. We had this guy. Where's his pants? I think I put him over here. Let me grab him real quick. This guy was absolutely annihilated. Um, I was kind of out of the loop on how expensive these were. It was like about $70 on Bricklink. His arm was trashed, and the dog had bitten through the cape, and then also somehow got one tooth on the helmet. I don't know if it's going to show up. I took this is something that I've done before to flatten out capes, but you can take a it's a flat iron. Like my wife has a flat iron. It's obviously not mine. um, but you can still see like the marks and stuff on it. I've on the fence about what to do. After I flat ironed it, it looks way, way, way better. And I think it looks even better than it's picking up on the camera. There's obviously the white marks, but now there's no the bumps and the rigidity of it is gone. Or the like the little ridges. So yeah, he's about $70. What I decided to do was I bought the pants. They were 25, and I think the guy had the helmet also, and that was like $1 to $2. Um, and then this ultra weird, I think it's a greenish yellow or yellowish green arm. I need one of those as well because the torso's good. It's just the cape. The cape's 25 to 30 by itself, and no vendor had both. Uh, it's just the type of stuff that it happens. Like, your margins are thick enough so that you can shoulder it and it's not the end of the world. I'm undecided on whether I'm going to order a new cape or sell the set with the damaged cape and note it. One option I do have is to buy the cape and then subsidize the price of the new cape that I buy by selling the damaged cape. I'm sure I could get 15 for it. It looks pretty good. So that would take some of this thing out. But yeah, pretty devastating. It couldn't have been any of the other guys. And then all the parts that the dog hit, like if it had hit the head and the helmet, it would have been perfectly fine. But the pants are $25, cape's $25. It just sucks. But yeah, right now we've got everything. We've got everything getting washed, and so I'm gonna wash that up. The Quickie Mart, and then there's the Hobbiton set or bag end. They're both in the same bin, like the people had combined them. It looks really good though. As I spent probably, God, I don't know. We had like 6 or 7 totes of bulk from a collection, and the person had a partially disassembled Quickie Mart, and I've spent so much time on Quickie Mart because of that. Because like we were at the tail end of the collection, but we still had a ton of bulk, and I had to sort through that bulk, pulling out parts for Quickie Mart, and Quickie Mart has like 60 stickered parts and a bunch of printed like cans and stuff. And so like it's nuts. Like it took forever to hunt everything down. It sold extremely fast and it's very expensive. So it's one of those sets that's like definitely worth it. But like yeah, I have very familiar with Quickie Mart because I had to spend so much time working on it. And so when I was going through and sorting like I kind of tried to put the Hobbit set in one bucket and then the Quickie Mart in another. It was pretty easy, but it's probably going to take quite a while. I'm hoping that none of it made it into the bulk that I also got from them, but I'm not certain. I wouldn't be surprised. But we'll see. The one bummer is I have like 80 bags of sets in another room, just like the small size sets, and in it was the cop car from Quickie Mart. And so if I go to inventory this, I have to go somehow miraculously find that because I need to disassemble it and add it to the inventory. So that'll be fun. But yeah, we got we got all of our figs. I processed all the CMFs, big old bin of CMFs. All of the new and box stuff from that collection is done, and then the next stuff is just to I want to inventory these 4 sets, and then after these 4 sets are inventoried, I want that way I can order parts and get those parts in while I'm waiting, while I'm cleaning up the other sets. The other sets, I would be shocked if anything's missing. It was like on a shelf with like there was a little pile next to each set, and each set had all the extra pieces with it, and so like it's pretty good. So I think it was another reason I was really shocked about the Lord of the Rings set, the pirate boat guy being eaten. Um, Nothing had a nick or anything or a crack or yeah, it looked like it. None of them looked like they'd moved. So it just this stuff comes with it. I reached out to friends that are in the space as well to see if anyone had it, and unfortunately, no one had it. It's all valuable stuff, so it sells quick. But yeah, I'll keep you posted if anything else comes up. There's still more people reaching out to sell, which is crazy because like we've spent a lot already. Luckily, with the 3,000 pounds of bulk, or 300, 700 pounds of bulk, $3,000 is what we sold it for. Luckily, we have some cash on hand, so that makes it nice. But it goes fast, man. Like fast. So yeah, I'll keep you posted if anything else comes up. All right, guys, it's Thursday. Just a little quick update. I'm just gonna pack orders and ship stuff out, but it just goes to show how quickly things can change. Yesterday, mentioned orders were pretty slow. This morning, I'm picking almost $900 worth of stuff, so it's crazy. Like, all it takes is one, $300 to $400 set, and you've got a completely different week. So, yeah, which is amazing because it also increases our daily average, which had been dropping a little bit. So that's fantastic. All our sets are getting washed up and cleaned. I think that I'm battling another illness, and so not super excited about that. But trying to stay on my feet, trying to stay moving in order to get this stuff all knocked out. Lots of stuff coming through, man. Like I'm gonna have to start turning stuff away, I think, because I think the last collection I bought was just another example of don't buy everything, buy the right things. I don't want to buy everything. I don't want to buy stuff that sits on our shelves. I don't want to buy things that don't sell on Bricklink. So low sell-through rate, all that type of stuff. And so, well, I get a lot of people coming to me, with like mediocre tier stuff. It's hard for me because I don't want to say that to them. I don't, if they're Mario sets, they're Friends sets, they're all these things. They're things that just sit, the used ones at least. New in box is a whole different story, but those are things that we just won't mess with. We won't touch anymore. And so it's difficult for people to understand that, but what's easy for me is just to say that we're not buying those at the time. So yeah, it's just remember that don't buy everything, buy the right things, because tying up your money into the wrong things is doubly bad. You get inventory that sits, you don't have access to that money to buy the right things when they do become available. And so it's just one of those things that like you really, it's difficult when you get excited when you see something, or it's been a while since you bought something, and so when that happens, I tend to pay more for things, thinking that the world's going to end and I'm not going to be able to get new product or inventory, and then wait a week and you'll be inundated. So ebbs and flows to all of this, and so just trying to keep your eye on the prize and make sure that we're only taking the right stuff. But yeah, oh no, fantastic. But yeah, just a little under the weather right now, and then trying to turn into a bunch of stuff. I did some work on this display yesterday. I love these displays. They are fantastic. I bought 3 more. They take forever to assemble because each piece has paper on both sides that you have to remove. It's like every little piece you have to sit and do that for. It sucked. And then yesterday, like the tops of them aren't as rigid, and so yesterday I spent time super gluing, and there's quite a bit of bloom from the super glue. So I got some low bloom CA glue that I'm going to try. Hopefully that works a lot better. The other thing is the foot pegs come out. I don't know if you can see this. Like if you lift up a fig, every other one or something will remove the pegs with it, as none of them do it. Sweet. I removed that whole back row and I lost like 25% of the pegs, and so I had to glue those in. I did hot glue and it looked terrible. So yeah, just need to make sure that I get these going. I just don't want them to take hours. Like I think I'm gonna try and shoot for 1 a day building them, and then I'm just worried it's gonna take like literally, yeah, either that or I'm just gonna do a whole day of building them, which is just like not fun, but I'll be done with it by the end. I have 3 more coming. I'll build those 3 probably just all in one shot, and then I think I need to order 4 more after that, and once I order those, then I'll probably do another second round. Because I just don't like the stuff looming over me. I want to be able to put the figs on the shelves. Shelf space is an actual disaster right now. I don't know if this plan that I have for it is better or worse. But these displays are just much better than what I have right now. And so I kind of want to move to those pretty badly. I like the way that the figs look on these displays, so we'll see how that goes. I really just am so tempted to pack up all the sets that I have, box them up, stack them in pile, and sell them that way, because the shelf space is just so important. And I have like 80 sets, 80 to 100 sets that need somewhere to live that are built. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it all. I might end up just doing, maybe I'll box up those sets as they come. We did the Tantive 4 yesterday. It's a big set. It had a little bit of yellowing to it and wasn't super happy with that. And then what was the other one? Oh, Imperial Shuttle, the small version. Slight yellowing. Sometimes I can't tell. Like, I think that yellow over or white over time just starts to yellow. Like, I can tell it's not sun damage because it would be like a side of it or whatever. But what ends up happening, it happens a lot on the BB-8 model, is you get this spotting almost where some bricks just start to change color and you end up with like this prismatic almost like looking build. So pretty weird. Saturn 5 is another one I think that has that happen. And my walls in here are like bright white, and so are all of the shelves. And so like anytime you put anything in it, I feel like it starts to make it look a little bit yellowed. So I don't know. I'll add it in the notes and anything that I list if I believe that it is. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, just gonna pack orders. Thought that was a pretty incredible number. Seeing almost $900 come through. I think I'm gonna start turning off notifications for that type of stuff, so that I just deal with it in the morning. It's been, when we got started, it was really fun and really exciting to get those notifications that you're selling things and stuff. But now all it's doing is getting me to look at my phone more, and I don't want to be doing that. And so now that I feel like we're a little bit more slow or a little bit more steady, it's better to just come in the morning and check and see how much we sold, or I can actively seek it out to look at it. So yeah. Oh no, great stuff. I'm gonna pack these orders and get some rest.